For those that are just watching, we had to go out, get our drinks, so we are prepared for today's live show.
There we go.
The wine
Yeah.
bottle, you know.
I'm sticking with my coffee. Alcohol, it's a little too early for me for that one. Depending how the show goes, because today we have the most famous question, which is when marketing, which is going to be the focus of today. So Cannonball, this is going to be most likely your show.
I thought it was
And
Sheraton's show.
We're going to have some good, some dialogue back and forth, some questions, because it's time, right? I mean, uplink, it's live.
Theoretically,
Everything is
that's
working.
what I've been told.
All right. Before we get into it, let's start with the disclaimer. Is that vodka or is that water?
That's
vodka.
Okay.
8 ounces of vodka.
All right, we're starting this early. All right, guys. Disclaimer time. We'll see everybody in a bit.
So I heard uplink is live now for everyone.
Woo!
Everyone in the world.
Yeah.
We made it.
Hand clap. Even Americans, who would have guessed?
All right. So
Come on, that's big news right there.
That was very snarky.
That was. There's a lot of history behind that snark too.
That
right?
involves a lot of suits behind the scenes. Trust me.
No kidding.
Yeah, I feel
a lot of conversations to make that one happen. That was an odyssey, man. That was an adventure. I got to tell you.
All right, uplink is live. People are using it. It's working. I do want to mention one thing, I guess, right off the bat, and this deals with the process of using uplink, and that is the fact that we're going from fiat to BNB, which is the whole point behind it, right? Along with the portfolio aspect. But there is a section in there that involves the KYC part. And today we ended up seeing a member from the community doing something a little different. I just want you guys to tell us about how the KYC part works, so they understand it the right way. So what's the proper way to do this?
So the proper way to do this is to take your, credentials, right? So I'm not going to put up my passport or driver's license on a live show, but to put up something like this is just a treasure box.
Okay.
Yeah, well, this is my wine cork bottle. Let me pull up my. So look, bottle cork. Put up your ID or
like
load it up in the system.
Real ID.
Your real ID, not a screenshot. So this morning somebody apparently tried to use a screenshot of an ID. Like, don't do that. Like, the system's not going to like that at all.
The thing is, the thing about Vera
flag you're going to get set back, and it's going to take you even longer because now there's another issue with the verification process. You got to use your real credentials and everything to show it to pass.
Exactly.
So do it the right way, and you'll be set to go.
Apparently, in the Vera.
And by the way, you only have to do it once. That's key.
Yeah.
You only have to do it once. So you log in. If you haven't done it yet, but you're a Flourishing AI user, you're good to go. If you have done it, you'll never have to do it again. And if you're brand new, you'll only have to do it once. So that's it.
Nice. Okay. Smooth and easy, boys.
Second time going through uplink after you've created an account, after you've verified, it's like that. It's
we did the inaugural. I mean, we've all tested it, but we had one of our members, Dana, try it, and I was sitting on the screen share with him, and he was going through it. And after the verification process, even I had to pretend like I knew what was going on because it was so quick. I was like, "Yeah, it's definitely that fast." Wait, are you serious? This is like it's in my wallet now. I was like, "Yeah, definitely." Mm-hmm. Yeah, I meant for that to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So even Lint is on here. He's saying it's just the KYC aspect, everything from start to finish. It takes about 2 minutes for the KYC process, but as just affirmed here, once that's done, that's it.
Yep.
And I've seen this with exchanges, by the way, where people have. This is like throughout the years, and it's odd. Even like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you sign up for these exchanges and you provide them everything. So like what I mean, everything like so if in the United States, your actual license, and then if something goes wrong, then they want your passport, which then they'll do. And the new thing is then doing it live, right? So like you have to do like a 360 view or something. And then it'll still take like days or weeks. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like what else do you want from me to prove that this is who I am? It's insane, some of these processes. And then even
I would
then,
be surprised if Binance sends somebody to your door, to your house. It's like, oh, just making sure that, you know.
Can we please see your ID? And
Yo, I hear you want to buy crypto.
The guy in a suit to your house, like, so I heard about your crypto.
In a polyester suit.
With little slick back hairdo, kind of like Will's, right?
You want to buy crypto, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
I swear I'm not in the mafia.
As he drinks with the pinky up.
That's
I know, right?
That's what they all say in the mafia.
I think you're taught to say that in the mafia.
That's right. You know, I don't know anything about that. That's Sicily. So it's live and you're good to go. So, and look at that. So I think Jason's going to buy crypto online, right? So that's great. Look at that.
If I decide to start buying crypto, I'll use upLink. Not sure yet.
Yeah.
Still thinking about it.
He's scared of crypto. He's never bought it before.
He's not sure.
I like asking questions. I like networking. That's why I'm
trying to coach him through it.
Yeah, exactly. And so here's the other question for Will. Are we going to maybe offer options other than BNB in the short-term future?
Oh, yeah. We built it in that way, right? So we can support any chain, right? Any token, including our own, right? That's all coming. What else? Different forms of payment too. So also ACH and Wire also coming.
Well, for those that are just tuning in, aside from the other shenanigans from the very start, Will, Eric, or Cannibal Carter, give us a brief summary or synopsis as to what upLink does, why you guys made it, now that it's live, just, what does upLink accomplish? What's the point of this?
Yep. So look, very simply, if you ever tried to get on some of the centralized exchanges with Bitcoin or with Ethereum chain, there are a number of different steps, and there's lots of ways to on-ramp with Ethereum. But if you ever tried to get on the BNB chain, the artist formerly known as Binance Smart Chain, apparently they changed the name this week. You realize that your options are very slim, like they're just not great options. And so what we're doing is we're creating a way to get on alt chains, not Bitcoin, not ETH, but other things. And we are making that process really, really simple. And look, I'm not hiding it. We're not only going to add additional tokens, but we're probably over time going to start to add other blockchains as well and really make this the easiest way to get into all sorts of different chains. Because here's the thing, when I first started getting into crypto, I popped in MetaMask. I'm like, Will, I can't see my BNB coin. Well, that's because you're not on Binance Smart Chain. What? No, my coins are here. Yep, they should be showing up, but they're not, right? And we went round and round over and over again, and until I kind of got the whole blockchain concept. So we're trying to decrypt. Get that? Dad joke there. The whole process of getting into alt. I know you guys are like, oh God,
what? Like
I jumped on the show with this dweeb.
It's a true dad joke when you have to call it out as a dad joke.
Well, so right then and here, this is basically it's the easiest on ramp to crypto. I like the fact that you're to the point, you're there, it's clear.
That's it.
From the last show, and this is what I love about you guys. So I'm gonna do two things. One, I want to bring us back, and then I'm gonna go back to the stream. But the reason why I'm here is because I want everybody that's watching us to pay attention to what I'm about to say. Last week, I saw some things with upLink, right? So through the testing phase, and not just myself, but the community as well, we give feedback. And these guys, they're listening. So you can actually tune into last week's show or the week before that, watch it, and then now look at what we have right here. I'm just going to point this out. So I had mentioned that, one, just to add this kind of stuff, this is what it's using, right? So the Apple Pay, GPay, it's in your face, it's secure, It's good. But then this part right here. Yo, you guys act extremely fast on this, and I love this about you guys. When we mention something, you get it done, and you're there. I love it. So before
we
this said
fake it
that
well.
the transaction would burn AI tokens. We, right, collectively, we all know what that means. We've been in this space for a while. But uplink is really for, yes, those that are in the space, but then onboarding new people. That's the most important part for this entire space. Bring in new people. So when new people see the word burn, typically that could be maybe a negative thing. But this team then changed it, and I love it, how they're basically just saying retiring. So when you see that it's retiring, that's still burning AI tokens. But now people feel safer. I love this. This is the stuff that I love seeing. These little tiny updates, modifications. This is awesome.
And it's like a special thing too, like, because there's two ways to retire or burn tokens, right? One is you just have supply and you just send them to the null address. The second way is you're buying them at spot and then burning them. That's the way we're doing it. So we are going and purchasing tokens from the open market to burn. That's a big deal.
That's a major deal.
It's a major
and to
deal.
your point, Jason, the thing that we continually say, and I feel like I say it every week. If I am saying it every week, it's probably a good thing. But the feedback from the community, your feedback, feedback from friends and family, and everybody who goes through, all of that gets filtered through the team, right? The team really does listen, because that makes the experience better, right? We can't think of everything. We don't know what your pain points are. We don't know what your, what your kind of focus is. And each person who comes in sees a different thing or experiences it in a different way. And getting that feedback and understanding how to improve or where we can improve or what we can say slightly more clearly, that kind of stuff, it's magic for us, right? Just helps us hone the message, hone the focus, hone the tool. There you go.
I remember you guys just saying, like, we got to get this out. We got to get this out. There's that famous phrase saying there's no such thing as perfection, right? We always just want to keep modifying things and making it look great, but it works. It does its job. So as we go along, all this stuff can be modified, changed. Listen to the community feedback. We grow from here.
Yeah, and to the conversation that we were just having shortly before, the idea that we're going to be adding additional tokens to it, that we may introduce additional chains, right? All of those things, like we could have waited to put it out until we had more tokens in hand. We could have waited to put it out until we could handle more chains. It doesn't make any sense to do that, right?
Even this part, I keep highlighting it, but like, I know people that have used the prior Binance bridge, right? And there's people that have tried the bridge and then the tokens don't get lost, but they get, again, it's like the congestion aspect. So it takes like 24 hours just to use the bridge sometimes. So the fact that you guys are actually disabling this, right? You're actually putting the prospect client or user, you're thinking about them. I mean, imagine somebody just using uplink and then all of a sudden being like, where the hell are my tokens? It's been like 24 hours, 48 hours. You guys are putting them first. You're not just saying, here, let us hurry up and process this person. Let us burn these tokens or whatever it is. Like this is a real use case. This is validated. This is awesome. This is what the space really needs.
And it does come down to, the audience that we're targeting also, as you were saying, somebody who's coming in who's not familiar with crypto isn't going to understand what burn means. They're also not going to understand why it's delayed and why their tokens haven't shown up in their wallet yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And pre-messaging that, being able to tell them, sort of give them a sense of security about the process that's taking place is key to us really making that transition for somebody moving from traditional finance, fiat only, into crypto. That makes that process much smoother, much easier, much more comfortable for them. And that's what's important. And, one of the things I'd also point out, and Eric talked about, what uplink is and why it is. One of the key things for us also is this is now the easiest, fastest, most direct way to get into trading with Fate. right? Previously, for those of you who have been with us for a while, right, you'd have to go in and you turn on Fate, but then you have to go connect Bittrex or Binance. It was not an easy process. It was very confusing, right? And it was somebody who came from traditional finance would be completely, just lost. I mean, Steve on our team is our crypto newbie, right? Our resident crypto newbie.
Yeah.
And he needed handholding throughout that entire process, right? Will's described friends trying to get into it and having to bring bagfuls of cash to him. I don't know if we want to say that on air, but there we go.
Monopoly money.
Right. Yeah.
It's monopoly money.
Remember, it wasn't live yet. It was the testing phase.
That's right. That's right.
Even the other day, like a friend of mine asked me, he's not deep into crypto or anything like that. If he has like a surface level understanding of it, he's like, "Well, how do I buy your token?" And I was like, "Oh man, how do I explain this? Like, you gotta you gotta buy your chain, switch it to whatever the chain, then you gotta go and pancake swap. You gotta it's like, oh boy, like, you know what? We're gonna add it to upLink, and you're just gonna buy with your credit card because
that's coming next.
And that's the big announcement for the show, by the way.
Yeah, we're done. Thank you.
Yeah, great show, guys.
It's over.
Yeah, that's the big announcement, actually. We're about to add AI purchases to upLink as well. So you can go right fiat to AI. I mean, so big picture. Take a step back a second. How many projects allow you to go fiat to their own token and to do it in under 5 minutes? Right. That's the point. Right. And
projects don't. It's the exchanges. That's it.
That's the problem. That's the problem, right? It's
so isn't that funny though?
This is new.
Hold on. Isn't that a funny problem? Think about that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for cutting you off, but you have all these projects that are on BSC,
right?
Spending, and we're going to talk about marketing, but spending thousands of dollars on marketing,
right?
But if people don't know how to even get the basic token, you already lost a huge portion of your targeted market,
right?
So yeah,
which brings up the next conversation that revolves around upLink, and that is this, guys. We've had a number of projects. I'm not announcing any of them today, but we've had a number of projects reach out to us and say, "Can you list our token on upLink?" Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, here you go. So upLink is going to increase in utility over time. Okay. Because it's BNB chain, the artist formerly known as Binance Smart Chain, centric, we're going to start with BNB. That's going to be the default. But AI and a bunch of others now are going to be joining the ranks on upLink, right? And, they'll be able to simply send clients over to upLink, get into our token, and great, now you've got that in your wallet. So that's right. I mean, I see Lint's reaction. Way to go, Lint. That's right. So other projects are now getting on board with this and going, we need an easy way to list our token and allow people to go from fiat to our token in under 5 minutes with lickety-split KYC and get it instantly. Can you guys help me with that? Yeah, we sure can.
Yeah. And think about it from the big picture here. You're going from something with serious inflation problems, fiat. The US dollar is an inflationary asset that is decreasing its value over time. And you're buying AI, which is inherently deflationary. That is, over time, it's inherently increasing its value. It's an excellent trade. Who would not make that trade? Right?
It's a no-brainer.
Especially considering where we're at right now token-wise, right? I mean, come on, guys. It's all upside from here.
All right. The rest of the show, we can honestly just load it up with FOMO from here out. I think that's what we need.
Exactly.
So right off the bat, we had Eric. So you're just saying projects are starting to reach out for easier adoption of their projects, which is a necessity. So when people ask, what's the utility of your project or what does your project do, you make onboarding easier. I mean, just even that alone is just freaking huge. And it's so simple, yet it doesn't exist aside from exchanges, right?
Yeah.
I do want to add another thing here before we also get into the marketing, though, because we need to focus on that part. We already went away from that. But there's one part that I'm going to share here. So I just blocked out. So this is within Flourishing Capital, right? So this is with Fate, so trading with Fate. And it looks blank, but that's because I just did some CSS magic to it, so we don't see balances or testing this account. This is a test account, by the way. But I saw this. So for those that have this, you could check it out. There's some new stuff here. I already see Will kind of moving around a bit. Pancake Swap was there, Citric was there, Binance was there. Uniswap always said coming soon. But there's new stuff here.
I wonder if maybe there's a connection to UpLink, and maybe some of those exchanges, you know, sort of base tokens and some of those projects based tokens might show up on UpLink.
I wonder. Let's wonder together.
Yeah, probably a coincidence.
Because
let's take a moment to wonder together.
Last show, may I add, we did end up saying that AI is coming to ERC20. So it's going to be, correct me if I'm wrong, bridge migrated to become an ERC20 token as well. So that kind of got hidden in the back end with all other kinds of stuff, information, but that's some big news in itself, right? So you're going from BSC to also now ERC20, which I'll reiterate, to me, that's where a majority of these big whales or big investors are. They're on Ethereum blockchain. They're looking for those tokens that are there. But I see ApeSwap, Compound Finance, Trader Joe. There's more to it.
There's more to it. Gets interesting, doesn't it? Also, if you notice the little uplink logo over there on the left-hand side.
Okay.
Right. So, you know, again, things coming. Once we move along a little bit further, the next piece that's going to be coming is dashboard integration for uplink. So you won't even have to leave your dashboard to transact through uplink.
So everything's more, I hate to say the word centralized, but you're making it easier,
but centralized,
more organized.
Yeah. more focused.
It's not always the right word.
Yes, it's streamlined. It's easy to get to. It's not difficult. That's really what we're going. It's not so much centralized as much as it is just easy. That's the point.
And think about it this way, right? You know, we'll get to marketing in a minute, yes. But as a new user coming in, you transact in uplink, and you've effectively created a base level account with Flourishing AI. So every time you come back, you don't have to redo KYC, anything like that. Once the dashboard integration is live, that's where you'll go. You'll come to uplink. If you go to flourishingupLink.com and you log in because it recognizes you, you'll then pop into your dashboard. And even if you're not trading with Fate, you'll be inside the dashboard. Beautiful thing about that is you're inside the dashboard, maybe not trading with Fate, but guess what? You're inside the Flourishing AI ecosystem. And now we can begin to show you what Fate can do for you if you turn her on. Right. And those are the things that make this such a key component to the overall story and flow and user experience that's going to be happening with Flourishing. So
I like it. Yeah. There's a lot of people I feel like are still unaware of the dashboard aspect of it. They're so in tune with Telegram and they're not aware of like the web browser aspect, which just opens everything up with the whole interface, and it's prettier. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So we'll transition to the next one, but just a quick thought, guys. It's important to understand also that because it's live now, for many of you who have had relatives say, "Gosh, how do I get into crypto?" Send them there. Send them to uplink. Right. Help out the project. Give them the best experience for a newbie in crypto, and kind of share it with them. Right. Get them into the crypto sphere. I have had neighbors actually ask me, how do I get into crypto? FlourishingAI.com, right? Or by the way, you can go direct to FlourishingUplink.com. That'll take you right to uplink.
Or straight up, we also own fiat2bnb.com.
Right.
You just type fiat2bnb.com and it'll go straight into uplink.
Maybe there's a Google Analytics angle there, or maybe there's a Google search angle. What do you think, Stefan?
I don't know. Google Ads, Google AdWords. I don't know. Marketing isn't my thing. It's Sheraton. So maybe
it's me.
Yeah, he can talk to that one.
All right, so let's talk to our CMO Sheraton about the ins and outs of what we're going to do going forward, right?
Finally.
So we've talked to you about all of these engineering things, right? We're not going to talk to Stefan, like he doesn't know anything about marketing. We're going to talk to Sheraton.
Not a thing.
He's going to lay out the marketing calendar and things that you're going to expect to hear with, all of the different, sort of releases in the sort of the crypto media and in the sort of the traditional media as well. So I'm kidding about Sheraton. Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Oh, I was gonna do my marketing, which is where I
a blank
I
page.
Some,
good.
Well, I start doing some drawings and I show it to the community. And,
it's free form.
That's great.
I'm a free thinking marketer.
Newspaper ads too.
Yeah, newspaper ads are big.
Put it in the yellow
pages.
pages.
That and flyers for car windshields. Like I can't tell you how many of those I put out. Maybe like 13 or 14. Like already, it's freaking amazing.
Incredible.
Great response.
So is this? Can I say this? Are we gonna start this part? So you're basically saying so Cannonball's out there putting flyers on cars. That's the start of the marketing.
That's it, man. That's it. That's the story of marketing in a nutshell. Boom.
There you go. That's our marketing plan. Are you guys impressed?
Think how many cars there are just in the United States alone. I mean, this is the untapped market, guys. Come on.
Yeah, we're starting with a big hotbed of crypto. Topeka, Kansas. It's a lot of cars there. I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult anybody. I've been to Kansas; it's a lovely place. Don't get me wrong. I was just trying to pick a really small city. But yeah, that's But tell us what can we expect over the next 2 to 4 weeks? I mean, week?
Yeah,
2 to 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
Like literally, as we're speaking, stuff is rolling out. So this is we've been talking about it for a long time. Literally since I came on to the team back in October. Right. This is. With the launch of upLink, what we've done, like we talked about earlier, right, is we've simplified the process for bringing people not just into crypto, not just into BNB, but really into Fate. And that is really the key to everything, because now that they have easy access, they default into PancakeSwap. We're getting them into DeFi. That becomes the story. It's not just about BNB, right? It's not just that it's a nice thing that I can quickly turn fiat cash into BNB, but what we do that nobody else can do, no matter how many fast followers, right? There are other exchanges that offer fiat to crypto and guarantee, fiat to BNB is going to pop up on if not just some of them, all of them eventually. But where we differ is that we give them a complete solution. We bring them into an AI managed portfolio. Fate is actively managing their portfolio. And it's plug and play. They don't have to do anything beyond that if they don't want to.
Dude, just think about that. So Eric and everybody, take your I don't know the best analogy for it. Just pretend you're just talking to your next door neighbor again. We've been in the crypto space.
Yeah.
Yes, there are other fiat gateways, right? So you could get the BNB, you could get your Ethereum, whatever it is. But then the moment that they get it, they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. I mean,
all of a sudden now it's like, okay, somebody told me to get this other token. Now what? It's always like there's always like that broken stage right there.
Look how much money was just spent. Look at how much money was just spent on Super Bowl ads. Right.
Ridiculous.
And all they're geared towards is getting you to go to crypto.com or Coinbase, put your money in and go buy BTC
and
or
stay
ETH
there. That's it.
or what, right? And we all know the volatility of the market, but how about your crypto newbie? They're gonna, like, if I go into if I went into BTC yesterday and it dropped, how am I gonna feel about that, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, come on. So
the other thing too is that Coinbase and Crypto.com want to own your money. They want you to pay them, and then they hold your money on their exchange, and you live in their ecosystem. That's what that's about.
Right? And they don't do anything for you.
And it goes to your wallet that you own. That's
and they don't do anything for you, right? All you do is you park your money there, and you have to make the decisions about what you do with it. There's no way that they help you, right?
And it's also
make
crazy.
The right decision.
You have, and not to go off tangent too much, but you have Coinbase and you have Coinbase Pro, or I think they changed something with that.
Yeah.
But pay attention to the fees. A friend of mine was on Coinbase.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to do a transaction or like a trade or withdraw something. And I was like, hold on. A minute later, Pro. It was like a third of the price.
And there's no market. The crazy thing is that Coinbase, they try to hide Coinbase Pro from people just because, it's better for them to soak up all those fees.
Fees are way higher.
No.
So, you know, we've gone off on a little tangent here, but this is all really important, you know, to understand, because this is what makes Flourishing AI and Fate and what we're trying to do fundamentally different than 99% of the market, right? And we're not a static portfolio trader. We're not giving you a bot that you have to figure out how to program and deploy and keep track of and monitor and watch. We're giving you a tool that is literally plug and play, that will grow your HODL over time. And that's what she does. That's all she's focused on, is making your money work for you. So that's the story, right? We finally have a complete soup to nuts, top to bottom story that we can begin to tell the market. And so that's exactly what we're starting to do. You know, I can go through all the different channels that we talk about, right? There's, you know, email marketing. We've got a massive email marketing list that we're going live to. We're going to send out literally millions of emails over the next several weeks. We've got, you know, advertising channels. We've got articles and news pieces coming out that are going to be hitting both crypto and traditional press. Remember, so here's the thing, marketing is, and especially at this level, right? We're not Coinbase. We don't have $2 million to go spend. Actually, more than that this year. It's probably $15 million, right? Is what was spent on Super Bowl ads, right? So we're not going to go out and go massive like that. But marketing is very much about building a presence and building awareness in the public sphere. And to do that, it's consistency, it takes time, but it's also about spreading that message out and getting that message out as broadly as possible. And so the marketing plan as it stands is really designed to do two things. One, drive traffic to upLink so we get them in that front door. And two, to really begin to explain and expand on the story of Flourishing AI, who Fate is, what Fate does, how she works, why she's better. And then you're also going to see, now that we've got the marketing spigot turned on, some messaging around things like the deflationary nature of our token, right? These are all pieces to the puzzle that we can tell that we have now content that we can fill and push to the markets. And so, yes, you're going to start seeing lots of stuff go out. So I posted it to the community chat today. You know, our first article picked up on investing.com are covering us now, right? So investing.com is pushing out articles on our back. That's freaking awesome. That's a massive, that's 127 million people that go to that site on a monthly basis, right? That's just ridiculous. So we've got Bitcoinist article came out today too. I haven't posted it to the chat yet. We'll start making noise about that across social and things. We're going to start pushing money towards advertising, targeted. Again, it's all about that funnel and making sure that we're deploying, you know, our funds, our efforts in the most effective way possible. And then just before we went live, Jason, you were talking about, well, you know, are you tracking, you know, that lead flow? What's lead flow look like?
That's
You know, this last week has been exactly, I mean, I can't tell you how many conversations we've had internally around getting all those bits and pieces in place so that as somebody comes through upLink, we know if they've abandoned their transaction. We know if they've chosen Fate. We know if they've chosen MetaMask. If they've chosen one or the other, we're going to hit them with different messaging, right? So now we begin to start being able to impact what that flow through and what that uptick looks like. Folks that only go to upLink, we're going to start messaging them to say, hey, try out Fate.
Check it out. Try it.
Mm-hmm.
Try it. She's only going to do good for you. You know, so these are the things that I'm just super excited about, because now the rubber hits the road, right? Like, to me, marketing is a really interesting thing, because there's so much of it is planning and organizing and logistics and making sure that you're tracking and what the data and analytics look like, right? And it's there's a lot of play in it too, right? What's the story we're going to tell? How are we going to tell it? What are the what are the words that we're going to use? What's going to resonate the most? All of those things come into play. But for me, my favorite part is when it hits the street and when you start to see what that flow looks like, and when you can really begin to see what that uptick is, and you see people using the tool, and you have people coming in and enjoying the tool and benefiting from the tool, and sharing it even more broadly. So these are all part and parcel to what's going to happen. So from this point forward, you're going to see a consistent flow of content and information across news sites, across all of it, right? And it's only up from here, kids. This is where it gets really, really fun.
This is where it gets fun. To give you an idea, some of the things that we're just sort of keeping an eye on. I mean, just to give you a sense of how data driven we are. So your average, what would you, in your experience, Stefan, what would you say the average engagement is on a website? So you land on a website, you start to sort of consume content, right? How long do people on average stay on that website? Like average engagement time?
It can absolutely vary, but the typical, thought process is you have less than 30 seconds to get their attention and get them to stay, right?
Yeah.
Less than
So
30 seconds.
About 25 to 30 seconds is always what I've heard. That's the whisper number. I'm not a marketer, but that's the whisper number that I've always had, and if you're doing anything above that, you're doing really, really well. Guess what the average engagement time on our website is? What if I told you it was over a minute?
Oh, this means that people are doing their research, they're looking into it.
What if I told you it was over 5 minutes?
That's even better.
It's actually 6 minutes, 42 seconds.
That's big.
Right? You could go check it out on Google Analytics. That's bonkers. I mean, that's just, I never actually expected anything like that. And that goes to show you that it's a lot of new users coming on board and really like getting educated. And guys, that's kind of the point. That's the point. Well, it's working, in other words.
And what's fascinating, throw out a little more analytics there for you. When we first announced that we were going to do uplink, I pushed a test announcement just to see what kind of attention we would get off of one site. And we had over 17,000 people read the entirety of the article, not just the headline, right? Not just the glance at it, but went through, spent the 3.5, 4 minutes it took them to read the entirety of the piece. That's pretty massive, considering that, as we've talked about, most people spend literally 5 or 10 seconds to read the headline, get the gist, and go. And look, I'm most people, right? I'm just like that. Like it takes a lot to get me to click in, right? Unless it's a cat. No, I'm kidding. But it takes time to get. It really takes time, and it takes focus to get people to engage. And the engagement that we get across the board is always surprising to me. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not going to say exactly how many years, but 20 plus is fair. And to get people to spend the kind of time that they spend with our information and with our content and on our tool, that's pretty powerful stuff. And again, as a marketer, I get to play with that, which is just awesome. Just awesome.
Well, yeah, I've always said if you're, just in the crypto space, you've worked hard for your money. It's yours. You want to make sure you're making the right investment. So you have to do your own due diligence. You have to look into a lot of these projects. Not to say that I'm interested, because I think we all know the answers, but how much research do people put into majority of these memes and like shitcoins? Because I guarantee it's not like 30 minutes or anything like that. They're in it, and then they're hoping to get like 1,000x.
Yeah, and
so
that right there.
This is for long-term holding. This is really being part of something bigger than, much larger than what majority are expecting. I could say that.
Well, and for crypto to mature, right, the mindset has to change. It can't be everything is 1,000x, because guess where 1,000x got us? As you said so eloquently, a lot of shit coins and a lot of rug pulls a lot of garbage and a lot of trash. And if that's the direction crypto is going to go, then it's going to die quickly, right? It can't continue in that direction, which is why we're going to see more regulations, why SEC here in the US is going to step in, right? Because they see that this is something that's going to stay. And if it's going to stay, then they need to make sure that people are protected within it. So it gets real, important for folks to understand that this is an investment play. Fate is going to earn you more. She's going to grow your hodl, but it's over time. It's not about, bouncing between anchor modes. It's not about trying to juice it so you can get 100x in day one or day two. It's 40% consistent month over month ROI is our target, right?
What just happened? Just switched it.
Hey, that's a great article.
Investing.com.
Look at that.
I want to know all about safely investing and managing my DeFi portfolio.
From my aspect, I love like the SEO component of it. So just like the link, that's just techie type stuff, but you guys did everything that had to have been done. I like it.
It's nice. It's not. I'm just tickled pink, right? That I get to start telling this story now, and that it's going wide and deep. So,
Okay.
Going to be fun. But it's all about fate. It's all about showing what she can do, how she can help, and how she can build your wealth for you.
And I'll end on a final note as well. Bitcoin right now, 21% down for the year. Down. That's not up. That's down, right? Stock market, equities, bit of a mess. Real estate, has done well for sure, but it's going to slow down. So I think Spencer, shout out to him. He actually released in the community the results of, sort of a 2-year sweep, and we'll make all of that data available so you guys can crawl through it if you're interested. But, the ROI, for those of you in our Telegram community, you guys saw it, ROI yearly, 48.64%. So basically in 2 years, you're doubling your money like clockwork.
I like it.
And that is independent of the fact that Bitcoin actually is down 20% this year. Think about that. So it's almost like if we end up, if Bitcoin stays there, which it probably won't, but let's just assume it stays there. If we can deliver that, it's basically like a 60% ROI relative to Bitcoin.
Sounds pretty damn good to me.
That's an insane number. You know what I mean? So a lot of, there's a lot of wind in our sails right now. We are thrilled. So thank you guys. I mean, and thank you for a great show as always, Jason.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to end it on that note, but I did add something in the description because I'm hearing some stuff about a possible NFT thing. I'm hearing something about that. That could be kind of interesting.
No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll have to ask the Flourishing AI team. I mean, maybe they know something about that.
You can tell Sheraton's excited. His hair is literally standing up. That's like
It never sits down. He just won't take a seat.
Take it from
Good
me,
stuff.
Sheraton. It's all about product. All about product. Just lots and lots of product. It'll hold it. Like, look at Will and me. Like our hair never changes, man. Come on.
I don't know what this means. I'm just going to have that clock in there. I'll put in a timer.
My hair is actually glued to my head.
All right, guys.
Pull it off in the evening.
So today, so we're not going to be going into market talk, or do you want to save that? That's
Be
for
Monday.
Yeah, we're
Monday,
splitting
so
it
we'll
now,
do
right?
Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna, just so everybody knows, we're splitting these up because we know that there are two different crowds. One that wants to hear about what's happening inside Flourishing and what the product and business prospects and all that kind of stuff looks like. So that's our Friday show. Mondays we're going to be doing market talk with our resident experts, Will and Paul, and they're going to be our superstars. So There you go.
All right, let's set that up. I'll be in Telegram. We'll chat. I want to know more about this NFT thing. It's just stuff that I'm hearing.
Yeah,
There is one. I don't know.
I do too. Like, come on, man. Tell me.
You want to know more?
What do you
Yeah,
got?
let me know.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. For those that have questions about upLink, Flourishing Capital, the links to everything is in the description below. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the like, and if you have questions, reach out. As you can see, they're always open to answering them. If you need help throughout the process of using upLink, ask questions. Everybody's here to help. So thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the day, weekend. See you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.